As you know, Philip was hit in the neck by a cricket ball at the SCG on Tuesday. He momentarily stood up and then immediately collapsed on the ground. Philip took the blow at the side of the neck, and as a result of that blow, his vertebral artery, one of the main arteries leading to the brain, was compressed by the ball. That caused the artery to split and for bleeding to go up into the brain. And he had a massive bleed into his brain. This is frequently fatal at the time. However, Philip was resuscitated and then managed by, in particular, Dr. John Orchard, the Cricket New South Wales doctor, and paramedical staff. And we were fortunate enough to have Dr. Tim Stanley, an intensive care specialist from Newcastle, who was in the crowd, who came and helped. They all did an excellent job of keeping Philip alive, and he was able to be transported by ambulance to hospital in reasonable condition. He then came here to St Vincent's Hospital, and I'd like to invite Mr Tony Grabs, who's the head of trauma surgery here at St Vincent's, to tell you a little bit about what happened once he got to St Vincent's. Thanks, Tony.
Thanks very much. The head injury that he suffered was catastrophic. He arrived well intubated and being resuscitated very well. It was our recognition that the first priority in this situation is to get an urgent CAT scan of the head to determine what we can do. This CAT scan occurred very early, and it was early recognised that we had to make an intervention into the brain to actually help get the pressure down in the brain. What sometimes happens in the brain is if you put blood around the brain, a small amount, you will start to become a bit drowsy. If you put a lot of blood around the brain, you will become unconscious. Once we made the diagnosis of blood around the brain, and it's a subarachnoid blood, which is under pressure from the artery, the immediate transfer to theatre was necessary. He went to theatre and had extensive surgery to remove some of the skull around his brain to help allow the brain to expand so it wasn't compressed. The surgery took about an hour and 20 minutes or so, and he was transferred back to the intensive care unit. This would be our normal procedure. After this, we need to induce a coma to rest the patient and rest the brain and look after all the other bodily functions for him. Over a period of the first 24 to 48 hours, as we know, he did not make very much improvement. And unfortunately, as a consequence of the injury, he died.